In 1968, an unknown Dutch band dreamed of conquering the rock world. But without a single hit to their name, and with their lead singer leaving the group, the band was on the verge of collapse. Then the unthinkable happened. A singer with an exotic gaze and a magnetic voice arrived, along with a new song that would completely change their destiny. Today, we will discover how Shocking Blue went from obscurity to the top of the charts on 2 continents with a single song. A song that also concealed a curious mistake in its lyrics, one that almost no one noticed. What no one saw coming, however, was that this very success would unleash a series of problems and lead to an ending no one expected. Let's begin. By the end of the 1960s, change was in the air. Music had become the banner of a generation searching for freedom, and rock was its universal language. Psychedelia was flourishing, guitars were roaring, and every new band seemed to push the boundaries of sound. The Beatles were at their peak, while Hendrix set stages ablaze, Janis Joplin poured out her soul, and groups such as Cream and Led Zeppelin opened the door to a new musical era. It was a time when a single riff could change the world. Against this backdrop, a young Dutch musician named Robbie van Leeuwen also dreamed of leaving his mark on that revolution. After the breakup of his former group, The Motions, one of the most influential bands in the Dutch nederbeat scene, Robbie decided to start over. He wanted something bigger and more personal. A band that could blend the power of British rock with the psychedelic colors of the moment and a distinctly European melodic sensibility. He was searching for a sound of his own, one capable of crossing borders and proving that Dutch music could also conquer the world. Guided by that vision, with a guitar as his compass, he began shaping a new project. In the midst of that whirlwind, Shocking Blue was born in 1967. Van Leeuwen formed the band with musicians he personally recruited from other groups in The Hague's music scene. Fred de Wilde on vocals, Klaasje van der Waal on bass, and Cor van der Beek on drums. Their style belonged to nederbeat, the movement that translated the influence of the Beatles and the Stones into a distinctly Dutch musical language and sensibility. With that lineup, they gained a modest degree of recognition through the 1968 single, Lucy Brown is Back in Town. Their self-titled debut album, however, failed to break through. Critics barely noticed it, and audiences never truly connected with it. Soon afterward, Fred de Wilde was called up for military service, leaving the group without its lead voice. With no singer and no hits, Robbie van Leeuwen's dream was about to come crashing down. Shocking Blue's story could have ended right there. But fate sometimes has an ace up its sleeve, and this one came in the form of a woman. A mysterious singer was about to cross their path, and with her arrival, Shocking Blue's story would take a turn that changed its destiny forever, as we are about to see. Maria Elizabeth Ender, known professionally as Mariska Veres, was born on October 1, 1947, in The Hague, the Netherlands, the daughter of Lajos Veres, a Hungarian Romani violinist, and a mother of French and Russian descent. She grew up surrounded by music and by a cultural blend as diverse as her own striking appearance. That cosmopolitan heritage gave Mariska a magnetism that was impossible to ignore. A singular beauty, an air of mystery, and a voice that seemed to come from another world. By 1964, she had already performed with several rock bands in The Hague's vibrant music scene. Her name began circulating among musicians and producers by word of mouth, and everyone agreed that she possessed something special, something that could not be taught. That reputation eventually reached Robbie van Leeuwen, who was desperately searching for a new singer to keep Shocking Blue from falling apart. When they finally met and tried out the songs Robbie had written, the connection was immediate. There was more than talent between them. There was spark, energy, and chemistry, Mariska's deep, mysterious voice melted into Van Leeuwen's melodies, as though the two had always been destined to meet. A magnetic partnership was born, with a sound and an image that were impossible to forget. Not long afterward, they entered the studio with a modest goal: to record a 2-song single that would officially introduce the new lineup. They could never have imagined that this was far more than a simple showcase recording. They were about to create the greatest hit in Dutch music history, an anthem that would cross oceans, conquer the world, and change their lives forever. If these stories are bringing back great memories, give this video a like and subscribe to Millennium Rock so we can keep traveling together through the legends of rock. Now, let's continue. On July 14th, 1969, at the height of the space age and its seemingly impossible dreams, Shocking Blue released its new single to the world, Venus. Within days, the song climbed to number 3 on the Dutch Top 40, and it soon reached number 1 in France, Germany, and Belgium. What had begun as a simple demonstration recording became a genuine musical explosion. Robbie Van Leeuwen's composition had everything it needed to become unforgettable: a hypnotic chorus and a chord sequence inspired by The Who's Pinball Wizard and The Banjo Song by Tim Rose and the Big Three. The real magic, however, emerged when Mariska sang it. With her deep, elegant, and enigmatic voice, she turned the melody into something irresistible. As soon as the song was released, the spell had been cast, and the world had a new goddess of rock. At the time, American talent scout Jerry Ross was traveling across Europe in search of new gems for the North American market. The moment he heard Venus, he had no doubts. He signed the band to the Young Colossus Records label and brought the single to the United States. On February 7th, 1970, Venus reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, where it remained for 3 consecutive weeks. It was a historic milestone, becoming the first Dutch song ever to top the American charts. Suddenly, a band born in the bars of The Hague could be heard on radios all over the planet. Venus crossed oceans, languages, and borders. It was sensual, powerful, and universal. And here's a little secret, hidden in the song's very first line. Robbie, whose English was still imperfect, made a mistake when he wrote it. In the opening phrase, "a godness on a mountaintop," he wrote godness instead of goddess, a word that does not even exist. Mariska did not catch it either, because she did not speak English at the time, so she sang it exactly as it was written, with such conviction that no one noticed. That charming mistake was immortalized in the recording forever. In this way, Robbie's dream had come true, but at a cost none of them could yet imagine. Success, when it arrives so suddenly and on such a massive scale, rarely comes without consequences. For this young band, standing at the top of the world was a dizzying experience, and they were about to learn that the fall could be every bit as swift and brutal as the climb. The success of Venus was so dazzling that it eventually eclipsed everything else. Within a matter of months, the single sold more than 1 million copies in the United States and over 5 million worldwide. It was a supernova in the rock firmament, brilliant and irresistible, but fleeting as well. No matter how hard Shocking Blue tried to move forward, the song became an impossible weight to carry. In every interview and at every concert, Venus was the only thing audiences wanted to hear. The irony is that even today, millions of people recognize it instantly, yet few remember who wrote it or who sang it. The song had swallowed its creators whole. Shocking Blue, however, was not a one-hit wonder. Hidden behind that enormous shadow were gems that deserved far greater recognition. Songs such as Mighty Joe, 1969, and Never Marry a Railroad Man, 1970, also sold more than 1 million copies each. Then there was Love Buzz, a song that decades later many people would mistakenly associate with Kurt Cobain and Nirvana because of its inclusion on Bleach, even though it was written by Robbie Van Leeuwen. Their catalog was filled with vibrant melodies and productions that sounded modern for their time. Blossom Lady, Out of Sight, Out of Mind, and Eve and the Apple, all driven by the same infectious beat pulse and a certain elegance that, for reasons no one could explain, international audiences no longer seemed willing to hear. Although they continued to enjoy moderate success in Europe and South America, the United States and the United Kingdom turned their backs on them. It seemed as if Venus had absorbed all the light, leaving the rest of their work in darkness. As their momentum stalled, tensions began to rise. Bassist Klaasje van der Waal was the first to leave, shortly after their 1971 tour of Japan, one of their last great adventures and a journey immortalized on a live album. Henk Smitskamp took his place, but the old brilliance never returned. Meanwhile, Robbie Van Leeuwen was carrying an increasingly unbearable burden. As the group's sole songwriter, he was responsible for every lyric, every riff, and every idea, and the pressure to keep that creative spark alive was consuming him. The endless tours, the decline in popularity after Venus, and the personal friction within the band eventually wore him down emotionally. Robbie felt exhausted, frustrated, and trapped inside his own dream. By 1974, after 9 albums in only a few years, the strain was plain to see, and the differences within the band had become impossible to reconcile. Robbie Van Leeuwen decided to leave, marking the beginning of the end, and Mariska departed soon afterward. And so, with the same speed that had carried them to the top of the world, Shocking Blue began to fade away. Had the dream truly come to an end? Or was there still one spark of its magic waiting to be reignited? After Shocking Blue disbanded in 1974, Mariska quickly found a path of her own. Over the following years, she set out to build a solo career, searching for a more personal sound without abandoning the essence of rock or the elegance that had always defined her. She released singles such as Take Me High in 1975 and Lovin' You in 1976, both of which achieved moderate success in Belgium, Germany, and the Netherlands. Her voice remained as hypnotic as ever, blending the strength, mystery, and melancholy that had made her unforgettable. In 1979, history seemed to offer them a second chance. The original members briefly reunited to record a new song titled Louise, but it was never officially released, and the band played only a handful of concerts the following year. A true return to the studio would not come until 1986, when the reunion produced the single The Jury and the Judge. The band's classic beat sound gave way to more distorted guitars and an unmistakably 80s atmosphere. With its raw energy, the chorus sounded more like Motley Crue than the Rolling Stones, yet Mariska's unmistakable voice still kept the spirit of Shocking Blue alive. Almost a decade later, in 1994, they released their final recording, Body and Soul. It was a polished, modern-sounding power pop ballad, built around a soaring chorus and a powerful falsetto from Mariska that went straight to the listener's heart. Officially, it would become the final musical chapter in the band's story. Paradoxically, while Shocking Blue was fading away, its most famous song continued to find success, even achieving a record that few songs could match. Venus became one of the rare songs in history to reach #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 on 3 separate occasions, performed by 3 different groups. First Shocking Blue in 1970, then the disco act Stars on 45 in 1981, and finally Bananarama in 1986, whose 80s pop version carried the song back to the top of the world. As the years passed, Venus became a universal classic. Today, it is hard to imagine a retro party without hearing its unmistakable riff or seeing someone raise their voice for its powerful chorus. It is proof that some songs can achieve what few bands ever do: transcend time, genres, and generations. But what happened to the members of Shocking Blue after they experienced this roller coaster of success and worldwide fame? We will find out next. Now tell me, do you remember the first time you heard Venus? Share your story in the comments. We read them all. After Shocking Blue disbanded, each member followed a different path. Some remained connected to music, while others simply faded into the audience's memories. Robbie Van Leeuwen, the creative mind behind the band, formed new projects during the 1970s, including Galaxy Lynn and Mistral, both of which achieved moderate success. Songs such as Long Hot Summer, 1974, and Jamie, 1977, are still remembered by the band's most devoted fans. In time, both groups dissolved, and Robbie chose to step away from the music business. In the early 1980s, he moved to Luxembourg in search of peace and anonymity. Even so, his bond with music was never entirely broken. He produced Body and Soul in 1994, although he did not take part in Shocking Blue's later reunions. Since 2018, he has once again lived in the Netherlands, leading a quiet life far from the stage and the noise of the past. Mariska, by contrast, continued to sing. In 1993, she formed the Shocking Jazz Quintet, reinterpreting classics from the 1960s and 1970s in jazz and lounge arrangements that revealed a more mature and sophisticated side of her voice. Not long afterward, she once again fronted a new lineup of Shocking Blue, touring with the group across Europe until 2006. In 2003, she recorded the album Gypsy Heart with musician André Serban, an intimate work that represented a return to her Romani roots and her family's musical tradition. Mariska's light continued to shine for decades. She never stopped singing or searching for new artistic paths, even though the shadow of Venus was always with her. Although she never managed to repeat that worldwide triumph, her voice became a symbol in its own right, warm, powerful, and instantly recognizable among thousands. In December 2006, Mariska died in The Hague at the age of 59 after suffering from gallbladder cancer. Her passing left an enormous void in the European music scene, but it also left behind an indelible legacy. The remaining members led quieter lives. Drummer Cor van der Beek died young, at the age of 49, in Rotterdam, while bassist Klaasje van der Waal died in 2018 at 69. None of them would ever again experience the level of fame that had once brought them together. Shocking Blue was a flash of color that illuminated the rock firmament for a brief moment. But that moment was enough to change history. Venus captured the spirit of an entire generation, the pulse of the beat, the daring of psychedelia, and the dream of a group of young Dutch musicians who set out to conquer the world with a song. Today, the band no longer exists, but its music, that timeless echo of nederbeat, remains proof that a dream can become immortal, no matter where it begins. Behind every immortal hit lies a story no one saw coming. And while Shocking Blue struggled beneath the weight of its own success, another band in the United States was preparing to defy the entire music industry, all because of a song that literally saved its career. Click now and join me as we uncover the song that saved Boston and fooled the music industry. I'll see you there, my fellow rocker.